My beloved child, listen deeply, for it is in this moment that may appear quiet and still that I am unfolding an entirely new chapter in the journey of your life. This is not a coincidence nor a random moment in time. This is a divinely chosen, sanctified, and preordained hour set apart since before the foundation of the world to begin a sacred covenant between me and you. As you read these words, I am very near, whispering to your soul with the tender voice of an unchanging love. I have waited for this moment, when your heart would be soft enough to receive, and your spirit strong enough to step into something far greater than what you have ever dared to dream. You do not need to understand it all in order to enter what I have prepared. You only need to nod within and say to me, I receive. Just 4 simple words, but when spoken from the depths of a surrendered heart, they resound through the highest heavens. It is more than just speech. It is a powerful spiritual act, a key that unlocks the treasury of grace I have been keeping for you. In that very moment, a frequency of heaven's realm will be activated, and nothing on earth will be able to stop the outpouring of divine favor that is about to flood your life. The angels assigned to your life are rejoicing in radiant joy. They are dancing in the heavens because they have already seen what is coming. Doors flung wide open, miracles beyond human understanding, promises once thought lost now rising anew. They scatter golden dusts of glory around you, not merely to adorn your life, but to mark you as chosen, as a beloved child of heaven. You may not yet see any visible change, but in the unseen realm, everything is shifting. Invisible chains that once entangled your mind are dissolving. Towering walls that have long stood between you and your divine calling are collapsing in silence. You are being ushered through a gate that no one else can open, because I alone hold the key to your destiny. And now I am unlocking it with my unconditional love. From this very moment, when you open your heart and say, I receive, the river of healing will begin to flow. The wisdom you have long yearned for will be poured out generously. Doors once seemingly sealed forever will open without a knock. Those who abandoned you will be replaced by those heaven sends to uplift you, and the dreams you thought had died will resurrect with a strength never known before. For now you no longer walk alone, but in the powerful companionship of my presence. And now, my precious child, after I have appointed this sacred time and placed in your hands a new pen to write the next pages of your journey under my light, what I ask of you next is not merely to believe, but to listen, not with your physical ears, but with a heart attuned to spiritual sensitivity. For signals are arriving. Signs are being released everywhere, and every tiny detail in your day, if seen through the eyes of faith, is a gentle whisper from eternity saying, you have been chosen for something far beyond the understanding of this world. Do not dismiss the subtle stirrings in your spirit when you enter a space, or when a song plays that moves your heart to tears without clear reason. Do not overlook the glances, the numbers, the images, the dreams that may seem ordinary, because all of them are messages from heaven, trying to communicate to your soul that you are on the right path. The angels have been guiding you quietly for a long time, preparing every small step so that you might receive what only those truly awakened in spirit can perceive. My beloved child, perhaps you have felt lonely at times, lost amidst the noise of this world, believing no one truly understands you, that no one perceives the depths of your soul. But know this, I have seen every silent pulse within your heart, and so have your angels. They have not merely watched over you, they have protected you, upheld you, and quietly cleared the path before you. They do not require you to be perfect. They only need you to be willing. And today, they stand on the other side of a wondrous threshold, waiting for your spirit to whisper, "I see your signs." When you do this, when you dare to acknowledge what seems invisible as reality, your soul ascends into a higher dimension of faith. You will no longer live as one merely seeking traces, but as one abiding among the signs. And this awareness is the key. It is the humble yet powerful knock that opens the vault of blessings I have preserved especially for you. These blessings are not coincidences. They are divine arrangements, revealed precisely when your heart is ready to receive. And there are signs that only an awakened soul can perceive. A casual word in a conversation may become a confirmation from heaven. An unusual light in the sky may serve as a reminder that you are surrounded by unseen angelic hosts. A gentle breeze brushing past you in prayer might be my answer, assuring you that I have heard. But if your spirit is not attuned, these wonders will pass like fleeting clouds, and your soul may miss the heavenly seeds I am sowing around you. Train your spirit to become as sensitive as still water, where even the slightest movement sends ripples across the surface. Do not dismiss your emotions. Do not overlook sacred coincidences. Do not ignore the things that make your heart beat faster than usual, for it is in those very moments that I am trying to reach you, personally, intimately, and with great love. I do not speak through thunder. I speak in whispers, and those who hear that whisper are the ones who will behold the greatest glory. And when you respond from the depth of your heart, I recognize the signs you've given me. It means you are no longer walking blind through the world, but seeing the path traced by light. That simple declaration holds the power to shake the heavens. It tells me that you are not following me with reason alone, but with your very soul. It reveals that you have stepped out of the shadows of doubt and into the land of unshakable trust, and in that place, miracles are no longer rare. They become the breath of daily life. Precious one, if you have ever doubted your place in my grand design, now is the time to let those doubts fall away. For each sign I send is my confirmation that you are not forgotten. You are being prepared for a calling greater than yourself. The blessings that are coming are not merely for your delight. They are to equip you for a new role, a role your soul was designed from the beginning to fulfill. Speak to me with an open heart. I recognize the signs you've given me. And when you say it, let it be a declaration of faith, a sacred agreement with heaven, that you will no longer hide, no longer delay, no longer live in hesitation. You belong to the light, and the light is calling your name more clearly than ever before. The angels still surround you, patiently pointing out each mark along your destined path. Do not overlook a single one. Do not underestimate anything that stirs your spirit. For the moment you begin to perceive, truly perceive, is the moment the doors begin to swing open, one after another, cascading like a waterfall from heaven, leading you into a new era. An era of receiving, of radiant glory revealed, and of stepping fully into the loving plan I have woven for you since before the foundations of the world. My beloved child, when you choose to walk according to the guidance from heaven, not out of obligation, but through wholehearted surrender, you activate a supernatural current that shakes the very foundations of what once seemed immovable in your life. The words I whisper to you are not empty. They are living streams, flowing with the source of every miracle. If you obey these instructions not out of fear, but because of love and trust, then that is the very moment when the miraculous begins to break forth in your life, surpassing all standards of human logic and understanding. I am not calling you to accomplish great things by your own strength. I only ask for your willingness, your sensitivity, and a heart that listens. When you follow what your soul discerns from me, even in small steps, even through quiet, simple acts, those become the earth's agreement with heaven. And when that happens, the angels who are with you will receive a clear signal that you are ready. Like faithful keepers of eternal treasure, they will then begin to unlock storehouses of grace, each one reserved specifically for you, one at a time, moment by moment, perfectly timed and complete. Do you know, dear one, that each spiritual gift has been meticulously prepared in loving anticipation? Not a single blessing comes to you by chance. Your angels have labored quietly behind the veil in patience and perseverance, arranging all things according to the moments I have appointed. They are the ones guarding your dreams while you sleep, invisible warriors shielding you from traps you cannot see. And now, they wait for a signal from your soul that you have said yes, that your heart has opened to receive. It is not that I have been unwilling to bless you sooner, but there are certain outpourings of grace that can only be released when the door of your soul is truly open. Blessings do not impose themselves. They do not force their way in. They are like gentle breezes, able to pass through only when the barriers of fear, doubt, and unworthiness are taken down. You must become fertile soil where the seeds from heaven may take root and flourish, and it is your surrender, your childlike trust, your unconditional obedience that becomes that rich, ready ground. I know there are things in you still hesitating, still unsure. I know you've been wounded by misplaced trust, by hopes that ended in disappointment. But this time is not like the others. This is not a man-made door. This is a divine threshold, opened by my own hand. And if you are willing to step through, what awaits you is not darkness anymore, but radiant light, restoration, profound peace, and a joy no one can take away from you. The universe, the heavens and all the hosts therein, are awaiting your response, not in loud declarations, but in a quiet inward shift, a heart no longer closed. For the blessings about to be released are not rewards for perfection, they are confirmations of readiness. You don't need to understand everything. You don't need to be strong all the time. You only need to have the courage to say, "Lord, I open my heart." And that one simple phrase, small as it may seem, can reorder your entire life and usher in a glorious new chapter. The angels have seen something in you, a glimmer, a flame of faith that never fully went out despite all the storms. It is that very spark that keeps them moving, urging and shielding you from the thievery of this world. Now they are ready. They have laid out a carpet of grace upon the path you're about to walk, and they await your reply, that you will no longer delay, that you will receive what has been prepared for you with gratitude and with holy boldness. My precious child, if you could see what lies ahead, you would never hesitate again. If your ears could catch the sound of heaven applauding every time you obey even the smallest instruction, you would begin to grasp the immense value of each step taken in surrender. For every action, carried out in response to my divine promptings, is never in vain. Each one becomes a foundational stone, forming a house of blessing, so secure that no storm, no matter how fierce, can shake it. And when you respond with obedience, when your spirit opens like a flower embracing the light of dawn, then all of heaven begins to move. My angels, the messengers I have appointed, no longer stand silently on watch. They begin to act. They do not remain as passive guardians, but rise into divine motion, stepping into the very landscape of destiny, to arrange, to clear the path, and to level the rugged places before your feet. I see with perfect clarity every movement unfolding in the spiritual realm, a realm invisible to the natural eye, yet more real than anything you've ever touched in the physical. In that dimension, heavenly hosts are working tirelessly to make way for the wonders I have ordained for you. Barriers that once blocked your path, invisible knots that once bound your progress, are being unraveled layer by layer. Nothing can delay what I have commanded into motion. No resistance, whether from man or from darkness, can hold you back when heaven has already declared, step forward. There are angels now working with great care in the financial realm of your life. Places that have weighed heavily on your heart with worry, pressure, lack, and limitation. They are opening new streams, shifting circumstances, removing walls of hindrance, and ushering in opportunities you never imagined. It may come through a new agreement, an unexpected provision, or a door reopening in a place you once thought permanently closed. This is not coincidence. This is my hand at work through my messengers, who are tending to every aspect of your life in order to bring forth not just sufficiency, but overflow. At the same time, another company is preparing divine appointments, connections that are not accidental but intentionally crafted within the eternal love and will of your Creator. Someone is being led to you not because they need you, but because you and they share a kingdom purpose. This may be a spiritual companion, a partner in vision, or a support I have long prepared, now arriving at the appointed time. Open your heart and receive them, for these encounters will not only carry blessings, but will be clear confirmations from heaven, whispering, you are not alone. You are walking in the right direction. And then, there are angels preparing something I know will reach into the deepest parts of your soul. Surprises that cannot be predicted, moments so tender they will draw tears from the wellspring of your spirit. But this time, those tears will not be born of loss or pain. They will be tears of pure gratitude, of overwhelming joy, of divine love poured out in extravagant measure, the gifts you once dared not ask for, the dreams you laid to rest believing you were unworthy. I am breathing life into them again. I am reviving them and placing them once more into your hands, not as distant possibilities, but as tangible realities wrapped in light and delivered to the very threshold of your heart. My beloved child, walk forward in holy expectation. Do not merely hope in silence. Step forward as one who has received an invitation to a grand banquet, as one who knows they have a seat reserved at the table of grace. I have already prepared everything. Your angels have arranged the path before you. The only thing remaining is your trust, not merely spoken, but lived out, in your demeanor, in the hope shining in your eyes, and in the gratitude that rises within you, even before the promises come to pass. For true faith does not wait to see before it believes. It believes, and then it sees. Do not be troubled if everything begins to change rapidly. The pieces will not fall into place according to old logic, but according to the divine blueprint drawn by my love and will. What once delayed you will be swept away. Those who once rejected you will hold no authority in this new season. And you will look back with tears in your eyes and declare, Lord, every word you spoke is true. Do not close your heart because of past disappointments. I do not build miracles upon the foundation of bitterness, but upon the ground of healing. Allow me to renew your mind and cleanse every distorted memory you hold about yourself. You are not a failure. You are destined for victory. You are not forgotten. Your name is spoken on the lips of angels. No curse, no past rejection can silence the name I have engraved upon my heart for you, chosen one. Now, my beloved, as the doors of heaven begin to open wider and your angels move in divine harmony with my will, I want you to be attentive not only to the grand events, but also to the seemingly small movements in your daily life, the changes that might appear insignificant to the natural eye or be easily overlooked. But in the spiritual realm, it is through these sudden shifts that I am weaving the threads of blessing that lead you into the radiant destiny I have prepared for you. Be keenly sensitive in spirit when things outside of your plans occur. A delayed call, a sudden change of appointment, a strange coincidence redirecting your path. Do not rush to anger or confusion, for it is in these unexpected changes that I am at work. I am rearranging your journey, altering your course, leading you away from well-worn paths into uncharted ways, places where blessings and divine encounters are waiting for you. You may think that a canceled meeting is just an ordinary inconvenience, but I say to you, it is a divine intervention. For if you had followed through with the original schedule, you might have missed what heaven has orchestrated for your sake. Perhaps I am holding you back for a few minutes to protect you from unnecessary harm, or perhaps I am leading you to cross paths with someone I have appointed to unlock a spiritual door or deliver a heavenly confirmation to you. Everything is under my sovereign control, and nothing happens outside of my loving intention for you. Let your heart become soft and flexible. Do not cling so rigidly to your own plans that there is no room left for the movement of heaven. When you begin to view your life through the eyes of faith, you will realize that nothing is truly coincidental. Every step, every meeting, every brief pause is part of the sacred melody I am playing for your soul to hear and follow. The angels, those who go before you and follow behind, have carefully placed signs along the path you walk, not to confuse you, but to gently and lovingly guide you. Sometimes it may come as a subtle restlessness within your soul, a quiet inner whisper you cannot explain, or a passing word from a stranger that causes your heart to stir. Do not dismiss these moments, for they are signals from the eternal realm echoing into your present, gently reminding you, pay attention, you are drawing near to what has been promised. And when you are on the right path, when you arrive at the place and moment I have long prepared for you, you won't need anyone else to confirm it. Your heart will know. A wave of deep, sweet peace will flood your entire being. It will not come from outward circumstances or fleeting comforts, but from the frequency of heaven, a realm where the soul aligns completely with the will of its creator. In that moment, you are not merely walking your path, you are stepping into a divine appointment, one that was ordained long before your birth. This appointment is one no one else can fulfill on your behalf. It is the moment where heaven meets earth in your life. And the miracle is this: you won't need to strive to make it happen. All you must do is listen, pay attention, and respond. As long as you follow the inner call, the stream of light within your spirit, you will never be lost. Do not chase after spectacle or glamour. True blessings often hide in humility. Destiny's appointments do not always arrive with trumpets or blinding lights, but often in the stillness, in a glance, a simple word, or a gentle decision laden with spiritual weight. These seemingly small details are, in fact, vital pieces of the greater picture I am completing for you. If you have been waiting for a clear sign, then let this be it. Unexpected changes are heaven's invitation. Pause, breathe, ask me, Lord, what does this mean in your plan for me? And I will answer. Not always with words, but with peace, with an inner certainty, with confirmations so consistent you cannot deny them. And if you have missed divine appointments in the past, do not torment yourself with regret. I do not abandon you for a single misstep. On the contrary, I am the one who turns every wrong turn into a new beginning for a glorious journey. Return to me, listen again, and I will guide you. I will realign you with your destiny and do something new, something greater than you ever hoped for. My beloved, not one thing you have done for me has been forgotten. I have watched you through every season, every tear, all silence, every night you whispered prayers when no one else knew, every morning you awoke with a longing heart, desiring to be closer to me, even when your body was weary and your mind clouded with confusion. I saw it all. I have recorded every act of faithfulness, every silent prayer, every time you fasted not to gain something from my hand, but simply because you longed to be near me, to hear me more clearly, to walk closer in my light. And now, as the heavens begin to shift, as your angels have completed their preparation, I come to tell you, this is the time of response. This is no longer the season of waiting. It is the season of harvest. Every seed of faith you sowed in secret, every tear you thought no one noticed, has become a stream watering the soil of your spirit, and now the fruit is springing forth, not in just one area, but in every aspect of your life. The blessing I have prepared for you is not limited to material provision, though that too shall come, and in a manner far beyond what you ever expected. But what I give surpasses gold, silver, and all earthly wealth. It is peace in your soul, unshakable joy in the midst of storms, and a restoration of health, not only in your body but also in your mind. You will feel life flowing back into every cell, a new breath of existence that I am infusing into you, a life birthed from my mercy and everlasting love. And then, the thing your heart has prayed for the most, the one you perhaps thought too difficult to hope for, I am also renewing. It is harmony, connection, and mutual understanding within your very household. I have heard your cries over the fractures in your family. I have seen your heart break as loved ones drift apart, as careless words leave wounds that run deep. But my beloved, I am the one who heals what has been torn, who mends threads that have snapped, and even now, I am restoring love within your family in a way that only I can. I will soften the heart that has grown cold. I will dismantle the walls that once separated hearts that had closed off. And I will plant there anew the seeds of kindness, of listening, of unconditional love. Family meals will no longer be marked by silence and distance. The embraces will return. Apologies will be spoken, not out of obligation, but because love has come alive again. Each member will begin to see the others with new eyes, eyes washed by tears of repentance and lit by the light of forgiveness. You do not have to make it happen on your own. You have done your part with faithfulness, and now I am moving. I am showing you that no act of love is ever small in my eyes. No prayer is ever in vain. No waiting is ever wasted. The years you thought were barren are now beginning to bloom with blessings you never dared to imagine. The outpouring is not coming like a sudden downpour, but like a mighty river, strong, continuous, and flowing into every corner of your life. You once thought I had forgotten you when all seemed silent and the promise remained unseen. But my silence was never abandonment. It was preparation. I have been preparing an entire season for this exact moment, when your heart is soft enough, when your faith has matured enough, and when you are ready to receive without losing the sweetness of who you are in the abundance. For the blessing I give will never cause you to become prideful. It will make you more humble. You will love deeper, forgive quicker, and be profoundly more grateful. You will become a light for others, for your very life will be a living testimony of my faithfulness. People will look at you and say, "How could such a transformation be possible?" And you will simply point to me and smile, saying, "Because my God never left me." So, my beloved, do not hold on to fear any longer. Do not place limits on what I can do. Do not ask if you are worthy, for what I give is not based on worthiness, but on my unchanging love for you. Open your heart, receive it all. Let the blessing come like a waterfall, like sunlight breaking through the night. Believe that this is your season, not just to survive, but to thrive, to live healed, to live in love, to live as one who has touched the heart of heaven. And my beloved child, as I am pouring out my overflowing blessings upon your life, as my light begins to illuminate every shadowed place where you once walked alone, I ask you to remember this deeply within your spirit. Continue to stand firm in faith, just as you have through all the trying days that have passed, for it is precisely because you have been faithful, because you chose to remain in the light, even when surrounded by darkness, that the resistance from the enemy will not lessen. It will, in fact, intensify. My child, do not think that when blessings arrive, all difficulties will vanish completely. In truth, it is precisely when I lift you to a higher place that the storm of jealousy, envy, and unseen attacks from the realm of darkness begins to rise with even greater force. The enemy does not trouble those who are spiritually asleep, but he trembles before the awakened. You are no longer someone who lives only for yourself, but one who carries light, hope, and my name upon your forehead. That is why the enemy tries every tactic to discourage you, through slanderous words, misunderstandings from those close to you, and sudden circumstances that seem to sever what you are building. But my child, do not be afraid. These attacks are not signs of abandonment. They are evidence that you are walking in the right direction. Darkness always stirs in chaos when light begins to shine. The enemy only strikes when he feels threatened, and it is your faithfulness that frightens him the most. For it is a living testimony of loyalty to heaven, in the midst of a world full of shifting sands. Remember the times you fell, yet did not give up. The moments when you felt you had nothing left to cling to, yet still chose to bow your head in prayer. The times you were misunderstood, abandoned, yet kept your heart from bitterness. These very choices have become the unshakable fortress within your soul, the reason you are now entrusted with a new season. I did not choose you because you were the strongest. I chose you because you were faithful, and that very faithfulness has moved heaven and made hell tremble. Therefore you must understand, the arrival of blessings does not mark the end of the battle. It may open a new front, but this time you do not fight as one alone. You have me walking beside you. You have legions of angels encamped around you. You carry power from me to walk in the authority of one who has been called, anointed, and sent. When the weight feels heavy, remember that your faith is the shield that guards your soul. Clothe yourself in the armor of righteousness, wear the helmet of salvation, and wield the sword of the Spirit, which is my word. Stand not by your own strength, but by mine. Do not let the threats of darkness cloud your vision. Do not let words of doubt shake the faith that has been forged through years of perseverance. Do not let your heart waver just because the winds have risen. The wind may be strong, but a foundation built upon me shall never collapse. Look back on your journey. How many times did you think you would not make it, yet here you are, still standing? That was not by your own might, but because my hand was always beneath you, lifting you up, again and again. And now, as you enter this season of grace, you must guard your mind more fiercely than ever. Do not let abundance distract you. Do not let the praises of people blind you. Do not let flattery cause you to forget that the real battle continues in the unseen realm. I am preparing you for a greater mission, a wider influence, and that can only be fulfilled if you learn to stand firm even when the wind is against you, if you remain unshaken even when those who once loved you turn their backs. For the truth is, most of those I use most powerfully are the ones who were deeply misunderstood, who were isolated from the crowds, who endured the longest nights with only a small candle. Faith. My beloved, the enemy will not stop throwing stones. But do not waste your time counting the stones. Use them to build an altar of worship from the very things hurled at you. You have nothing to prove. You only need to keep walking. Every step taken in faithfulness is a direct strike against darkness. Every time you choose forgiveness over bitterness, the enemy loses ground. And every time you say to me, though it's hard, I still believe, heaven erupts in thunderous celebration. So, my child, do not be afraid when the attacks intensify. Let them be a sign that you are nearing the summit, drawing close to your divine destination. And when you stand firm amidst the shaking, the world will know it is not because of your strength, but because you are being held by a hand that never lets go. My hand. Today I speak to you, be steadfast, be courageous, for your reward is great, and the enemy can only make you tremble when you forget that you belong to me. But if you remember, if you hold fast to my name, then nothing can steal what I have destined for you. I am your fortress, and in me you will never be defeated. My beloved child, now that you understand that blessings are not separated from trials, that attacks do not signify punishment, but are rather the marks of a strong soul in the divine plan, I desire you to take one more step into deeper spiritual maturity. This step is not about outward action, but about the innermost place within you, the wellspring of every word, every choice, and every path your life is taking. Your mind. Guard your thoughts as a watchman guards the fortress gates at night. For what you allow to enter your mind will slowly shape your soul, gradually molding your faith and ultimately determining your destiny. A fleeting thought can be a seed. If you let it take root, it will grow, and what it bears may be either the fruit of life or the bitter harvest of despair. You must understand that your mind is a true battlefield, where the enemy seeks every opportunity to plant seeds of doubt, fear, anger, jealousy, inferiority, or unworthiness. He doesn't always arrive with loud threats or dramatic intimidation. Sometimes he slips in silently, through a single, unnoticed thought, a thought that whispers you'll never get better, a thought that others are chosen and you are forgotten, a thought that I have abandoned you. And if you believe those things, they will slowly redraw the image of yourself in your own eyes, and worse, distort your perception of me. That is why you must stay alert. Fill your mind not with the noise and confusion of this world, but with my enduring truth, the promises that never fail, the timeless truths, and the unshakable proof of my eternal love for you. Let my words become the gentle whispers that greet your mornings, the shield against the sudden winds of life's storms. Do not allow your mind to drift aimlessly. Teach it to recognize my voice, to rest in my word, and to align with the frequency of heaven. My child, you cannot control every circumstance that comes your way, but you always have the power to choose how you think about them. And it is that thinking, not the circumstance itself, that determines whether you will stand strong or fall, live in hope or sink into despair, keep going or give up. A mind anchored in truth is an unshakable fortress, but a mind overtaken by fear and bitterness is like a house without doors, easily swept away by the storm winds of the enemy. Let your heart be immersed in the peace that comes from knowing you are loved, chosen, and held by an unwavering love. When you meditate on gratitude, when you intentionally turn away from negative thoughts and replace them with praise, you are cleansing your inner atmosphere, creating a sacred space for divine creativity, for lasting joy, and for unshakable strength to flourish. If, every morning, you open your eyes and choose to dwell on what is good, if, in the middle of a long day, you pause just to whisper, "Thank you, for I am still living in your love," then every action, every decision, every heartbeat of that day will be shaped by light. And that light will radiate from you like a sacred magnetic field, drawing in what is good, repelling what is dark, and illuminating even those groping in the shadows near you. I do not tell you this to teach you to live with a false sense of positivity, but to help you understand that every thought is a seed of energy. A seed does not lie dormant. It will grow, and it will bear fruit, either nourishing or poisonous. You must be the careful gardener of your own mind, pulling out bitter roots before they spread, and tending to each tender sprout of hope before it withers from neglect. I declare to you, let your mind be shaped by what is noble, true, lovely, and full of hope. Because when you see the world through the lens of grace, you will find opportunity where others see failure. You will perceive light while others only see darkness. And that will not only transform your inner world, it will change the way the world sees you. My child, when you become fully convinced that I love you, not because you are good, but because I am good, then peace that surpasses all understanding will wrap around your soul like a warm garment. That peace will become a shield, blocking every arrow of doubt, anxiety, and resentment. You will no longer react from emotion, but respond from faith. You will no longer be led by fleeting feelings, but by eternal truth. So from this day forward, my child, guard the gate of your mind like a warrior of light. Be discerning in what you read, what you listen to, what you think about, and what you believe. Recite my promises to yourself as a gentle lullaby for your soul each night. And when a foreign thought comes knocking, pause and ask, where is this thought coming from? Does it build me up or break me down? And if it does not reflect my love, cast it out without regret. My beloved, once you have learned how to guard your thoughts, to choose light over darkness, now I invite you deeper into a more sacred dimension of this journey, where faith is not merely sustained, but nurtured, expanded, deeply rooted, and made to blossom on the firm foundation of life in me. You cannot keep the flame of faith burning if your soul is isolated and dry. Just as a fire needs clean air and dry wood to burn brightly, your spirit must be consistently nourished with what is pure and life-giving. I am calling you to dive deep into what feeds your faith. Do not merely skim the surface of truth, but immerse yourself in the ocean of grace. Remain long enough for my word to soak into every crevice of your soul, to heal, to renew, and to transform your being in the light of eternity. Seek a community of life, a place where hearts beat in harmony with my spiritual frequency, where others are also journeying in pursuit of truth. You were not born to walk alone. Loneliness is not something I created for you. There are fragments of other souls that are meant to connect with yours in the dance of restoration and support. Find them. Surround yourself with those who speak the same spiritual language, those who will not make you question your sacred calling, but who will encourage you, lift you when you are weary, and remind you of the one to whom you belong. Nurturing those sacred connections is not a luxury, it is a lifeline. Every conversation guided by the Holy Spirit, every knowing glance, and every shared prayer among believers becomes a stream of life, replenishing the strength you need for the journey ahead. Remember, there are people waiting for your presence, not because you are perfect, but because you carry something heavenly within you. And likewise, there are souls to whom you have been sent, to uphold, to share a portion of my love, to be a shelter for those whose hearts are breaking. Do not forget to nourish your own soul with my word. Do not merely listen with your ears, but consume it with your spirit. Every word I speak is living bread. Let it become your breath, your heartbeat, your first thought in the morning, and your final whisper before sleep. As you immerse yourself in my word, you will begin to see everything differently. You will discover opportunities hidden in challenges, notice my presence within the ruins, and witness yourself transforming into someone new. And in the midst of that sacred nourishment, something wondrous will unfold. You will begin to understand me more deeply, not merely through teachings or theology, but through a vibrant, personal experience. I will no longer seem like a distant deity, but a close companion. Truths that once felt abstract will become deeply real. My love will cease to be a concept and will become a flowing river, softening your heart, healing your wounds, and turning you into a new stream, a channel of my mercy, reaching others through your life. But my child, in the midst of all these things, I ask you to pay close attention to one of the most quiet yet crucial matters: the way you speak to yourself. In the silent moments when no one else can hear, what are you saying to your own soul? Are you judging every mistake with the severity of a harsh critic? Or are you learning to embrace yourself like a child who is deeply loved, completely forgiven, and called by an everlasting love? I see those moments when you blame yourself, those harsh whispers you utter alone in the dark. You think I take delight in your self-punishment, but I do not. I am not a God who finds pleasure in asceticism. I am love, and I desire that you too would learn to love yourself with the very love I have poured into you. Say to yourself what I have already spoken over you. I am chosen. I am forgiven. I am growing day by day. I am not cast aside. I am the one he loved so much that he gave his life for me. These words are not meant to inflate your ego, but to restore the true essence of your soul, the part of you that was distorted by painful words, past failures, and unnamed fears. Learn to treat yourself with the same kindness you so freely offer to others. You are quick to forgive them, yet so unforgiving toward your own heart. Now is the time to embrace yourself, as I have always embraced you. Without condition, without measurement, without regret. For only when your heart is full of mercy can my love flow through you in its fullness. Only when you learn to love yourself rightly can you love others as I have loved you. And it is only then that you will truly become a dwelling place of sacred life, a living temple, a river of healing, and a powerful witness to my unending kindness in a world in need of restoration. So, my child, nourish your soul daily. Build around yourself a strong spiritual community. Speak life over yourself. And always remember this: I do not merely see what you are now, but I see who you are becoming. I am continually at work within you, shaping you to step into the fullness I have destined. You are loved, forgiven, chosen, and being transformed by my love that never departs from you. Live as one who knows they belong to the light, for truly, you are a light in the midst of the darkness, and I dwell within you. I am not blind to the silent battles that unfold inside your heart. I know there are days when you wake up and your faith no longer feels as firm as it once was. When the voices of the world and echoes from old memories try to drag you back into the land of doubt. I see clearly the words that repeat in your mind. Am I truly loved? Are those promises really for me? You are not the only one who has ever asked these things, and I do not blame you. I do not withdraw from you because you are wrestling in the shadows of uncertainty. On the contrary, in those very moments, I draw even nearer to you. For, my child, what moves me most deeply is not your perfection, but your honesty when you come close to me. Do not think that I only welcome you when you are full of faith and boldness. I cherish even your weakest moments, when you tremble, when you are unsure, when all you have left is a whisper, Lord, help me. Those are the very moments where miracles begin. Because faith is not the absence of doubt, but the choice to come to me in the midst of it. So I urge you, do not hide your doubts in the dark. Do not suppress your questions as though they are something shameful. The more you keep them in, the more they grow in silence and may become barriers that distance you from me. Bring it all to me. The questions with no answers, the gaps in your faith, the quiet fears that whisper you might never be enough. Present them in the light. I am not surprised. I do not condemn. I was there when those questions were formed, and I had prepared the answers before you even dared to ask. You don't need to strain yourself to have enough faith. You only need to be honest. Simply say to me, Lord, I'm tired. I'm uncertain, but I'm still seeking you. That too is a powerful prayer. That is the act of one who is brave even in their weakness. A soul daring to bring their broken pieces to the one who will never turn them away. I say to you, my presence is spacious enough to hold all your confusion. I am not threatened by your unfinished thoughts. On the contrary, I long to enter into them, as a father walks into the messy room of his child, not to scold but to clean, to restore, to renew. Let me touch the places you've hidden. Let me shine my light upon the dark corners of your soul. Not to expose in judgment, but to heal with gentleness. When you bring your doubts to me with a humble heart and a hunger for truth, you are opening the door to a deeper journey into my very being. You will not merely believe in some abstract way. You will come to know me personally, intimately, undeniably. For truth does not fear being questioned, and my love remains unshaken, even when your soul searches awkwardly for clarity. I want you to understand. Maturity in faith is not the absence of questions, but the choice to bring every one of them to the right place. To me. Understanding doesn't always arrive like a flash of lightning. It is woven from every tear-soaked prayer, from every honest conversation between you and me in the midnight hour of doubt. It is in those sacred exchanges that I teach you how to hear my voice, not through the noise of the world, but through the gentle whisper within. I do not only desire your comfort, I long for your transformation, and that transformation sometimes requires the collapse of old ideologies so that something stronger, more enduring can be built in their place. Your questions may shake long-held beliefs, but if you persist in seeking within my light, I will replace them with deeper truths. Truths that are more accurate and more aligned with my heart. My child, you are not lost. You are not left behind. The struggles in your faith do not lessen your worth. They reveal that you are alive, that you are searching, and that you are being reshaped by me into a more beautiful reflection of goodness. Let this journey lead you into the deepest place of connection, where there is no pretending, no hiding, only you and me, raw, honest, and more radiant than ever before. So come to me again and again, whether you carry questions, doubts, or silent tears. Bring even the things you've never voiced to anyone. I will listen. I will teach. I will wipe your tears. And I will restore your faith, not with empty words, but with the very nearness of my living presence, hovering close, surrounding you, lifting you up, and guiding your every step back to a place of strength, wholeness, and divine light. Now, I want you to look forward with a steadfast heart. I speak to you, do not keep your gaze fixated on what has passed. The past, no matter